Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Tyler Babb, and thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today, we'll be looking at the Stranger Things Season 5 official first teaser, where they drop episode titles for all 8 episodes. We're gonna take a deep dive and see what they mean. Before I continue, guys, thank you so much. If you would like to subscribe and click the like button, it greatly helps out the channel, reaches me out to the algorithm. I greatly appreciate it. Let's get into it. The teaser also lets us know when we're exactly going to get the season. I will give you my thoughts later in the video on exactly how I feel like they are going to roll out Season 5. Alright, so first up, the first episode is called The Crawl. Now this could be just the opening setup of the actual season, where we get updated, where everybody's going to be and see what everyone's up to, right? This is going to take place in 1987, so I think there's going to be like a year time jump. So we're going to have to do a lot of catching up to maybe see where these guys are at, and then see where Vecna's at and all sorts of stuff. It's gonna be a big setup episode, and there's 8 episodes, so we definitely are gonna be able to spend a good chunk of time, especially if this is over an hour long. There's gonna be a lot of time to spend with our favorite characters and see what they're up to. The second episode is the Vanishing of, and then it's all blanked out where we can't tell what it is. Now, if you went and watched the behind the scenes little teaser thing, little BTS update video that they had a couple months ago, you may have seen that they did in fact recast Holly Wheeler. So there is speculation out there that this is the disappearance, the vanishing of Holly Wheeler. Now, is that, we don't know, we have no idea. We don't know exactly what role she's gonna play, but there's a lot of speculation that this may be who this character is, and that she may go missing or something, and this makes sense, whoever it is, we don't know, right? But it makes sense that this is the second episode. This is going to be the thing that kind of, I think, gets our heroes back into the game. I think things maybe have calmed down in that first episode to where we don't, the threat has kind of dissipated and people don't know what Vecna's doing. But this is going to be the first appearance, and Vecna is going to do something. And this is going to get our heroes and the gang back together and back to war mode. You know what I'm saying? Back to, let's go. He's not gone. Episode number 3 is called the Turnbo Trap. And if you don't know what a Turnbo is, it's a brand that makes horse trailers. And so is this, to transport horses. It's a Turnbo. It's a brand of trailer makers. And so is there some sort of trap that's going to be made with these Turnbo trailers to trap somebody? To trap Vecna? I mean, obviously that's our big bad, right? So obviously our series is going to be, the season is going to be focused, I think this last season is got to be all focused on finding Vecna and destroying Vecna, right? I mean, there's no other things really that could come, right? All right, episode 4, Sorcerer. Now, obviously we know, if you're a big Stranger Things fan, who's the sorcerer, right? Who's the wizard? That would be Will. Obviously, I think this is going to be a very Will-centered episode. This is going to be the ultimate Will episode that I think everyone's been waiting for. I think he's going to come to the forefront, right? Who knows if he's actually going to get powers? I don't know if that's necessarily going to be the case, because we haven't really seen anything that hints that he would have powers. But I think this is going to be where I think they reveal even more secrets, right? About the Upside Down and the connection to Will. I think Will plays a huge part. Will is connected to Vecna somehow. And Will has the ability, I don't think he's got superpowers necessarily, but he does kind of, because he's got the ability to feel what Vecna's feeling, right? He can tell when Vecna's gonna do something. So it's more of, I think, that happening, and after the trap or whatever, there may be a turn. Maybe Will is evil. I really want there to be a time where one of our main characters does turn, right? And does go to the evil, not necessarily maybe for for like the finality of everything. Maybe they come back to the light side, per se. But it'd be interesting if Will is actually, because Will's always been pretty troubled. So if Will feels like there's no hope, and if Vecna is able to kind of get in and play with Will's mind and memory or whatever, it'd be interesting to see if Will does turn, or somebody does turn to the dark side, per se. All right, so episode 5 is called a Shock Jock. Well, what's a Shock Jock? A Shock Jock is a disc jockey on a talk radio show who expresses opinions in a deliberately offensive or provocative way. The Shock Jock was introduced into the National Radio Hall of Fame in 1989. So obviously, Shock Jocks were big in the 80s on the radio, right? Think Howard Stern, you know, those type of things. Now, there are behind-the-scenes photos of a radio station being a main focus of the season, right? I think it's going to play a huge role in whatever the final plan is to take down Vecna and take down the Upside Down. So that's going to be a huge focal point. And so what does that all have to do with anything? I don't know, but I think this is kind of the beginning of the plan, right? Where this is step one of the plan to take down Vecna for the rest of the season. Linda Hamilton is also going to make an appearance in the show, so we wonder maybe she is going to be the Shock Jock character that works at the radio station. We know that she's going to be in the season, so where would she show up? I think this makes the most sense to be where she would be placed. Episode 6 is Escape from Kamots. Now, this is probably the most juicy title that we've gotten because it gives us a very interesting cameo that could possibly appear. Now, what is Kamots? Stranger Things Season 5 episode titles hint at Kamots being a new villain. Could Kamots also be a Wrinkle in Time reference? It's been confirmed that Vecna will make his return in Stranger Things Season 5, though whether he serves as the final antagonist is yet to be made clear. The show's young heroes will no doubt have to face some new threats along the way, and a glance at both D&D lore and Mayan mythology suggests that they'll be battling giant bat-like monsters during Escape from Kamots. In Dungeons & Dragons, Kamots is the god of bats for the Ulman underworld, who is also known by the name Zoltolala. I don't know how to say this word, but that's an interesting name. Anyone still traumatized by Eddie Munson's death in Stranger Things Season 4 will remember that he was mauled by a pack of creatures dubbed the Demobats. As their name suggests, they were essentially bat versions of the Demogorgons, with the creatures acting as Vecna's minions in Dimension X. It's possible Season 5 will find some of Stranger Things' ensemble trapped in Dimension X and chased by Kamots, which is some kind of evolved Demobat. Outside of the D&D connection, Kamots could also be referred to as the classic YA novel A Wrinkle in Time. The book features a passage involving the planet Kamots, which has been overtaken by the Black Thing. This entity is a giant evil shadow that covers Kamots and uses mind control on its residents. Instead of being a slimy bat creature, Stranger Things Escape from Kamots could be pulling inspiration from A Wrinkle in Time instead. There's also rumor that Eddie Munson may be returning to Stranger Things as Kaz. Kaz is bitten and killed by bats, just like Eddie, but following his death, he is reincarnated at the hand of Vecna and serves as his right-hand exchange for a new life. Though initially subjugated to Vecna's will, Kaz eventually finds the strength and turns against his villainous master, and wielding a weapon called the Sword of Kaz. It's all kind of playing into the potential that Eddie could be Kaz, and I do hope that that becomes a thing, because it seems to be a perfect setup, right? They left him there, right? He disappeared. He was attacked by bats. He could be a vamp. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes sense, and I think it'd be a real shock for the fans who don't know. But for us who are speculating, I think it would be really cool to see that pay off, and I hope that it does in the episode Escape from Kamots. Episode 7 looks like it's going to be called The Bridge. Now, this could be, you know, this is obviously the penultimate episode, so this is the crossing over, right? This is the big one. This is the one that's going to take us from, okay, we have a plan, to, okay, now we need to actually act on the plan and go at it hardcore and make it happen. So if you think about it, this is going to be the bridge. So this is going to be where they're crossing from our world into the Upside Down. The entire gang is probably going to go. They're probably all going to meet up. They're going to obviously split off, I think, a little bit, not so much, because I think the Duffer Brothers have said that for the most part, the primary group of kids are going to stay together. So maybe they don't split up, but I think that this is going to be where they cross over to the Upside Down, and this is the final push to defeat Vecna. And last but not least, the final episode is called The Right Side Up. Now, this is obviously the thing that shows us where everything is okay and Vecna is defeated. Or is it? It's really interesting because Stranger Things likes to do these things, right? Where they give you what you want, but not in the way that you expect. And I think that's what makes the Duffer Brothers such great writers. Obviously, they have crafted one of the best television shows in the last decade, right? It is a cultural phenomenon. So you cannot deny these guys' talents. Obviously, I'm a filmmaker myself, so I really admired these dudes from going from independent filmmakers into this Netflix system and making a show that is really quite good, given all the challenges that they faced with the pandemic and the writer's strikes and everything. They've had a rough go at trying to get this series finished, but they finally are doing it. We're finally going to get the end, and I can't wait, and definitely want to give them as much time as they possibly need to write the best thing that they have. I think that's the writer's strike is a blessing in the way that it gave them the time to finally write the season that they wanted to. They weren't rushed. Nobody rushed them. They were able to literally sit there for months and months and months, pretty much almost an entire year, and just write the stuff that they wanted, right? They could flesh it out. They could make it the best that they possibly can. And then it says here, the fall of 1987. So obviously this is going to take place in 1987, in the fall time. So I'm thinking, when are they going to release this? Well, that may be a little tricky and a little interesting to see exactly what they do, but we know that the season is going to take place in fall of 1987. All right, and then it says it's coming in 2025. Now, how are they going to release this? I feel like we are going to get a trailer probably around Super Bowl time. I would assume that around Super Bowl time in February, we are going to be getting a lot of trailers for a lot of things. 2025 is packed. So if you guys love this stuff and you want to be in tune and you want to share the excitement, definitely subscribe and click that like button, because we're going to be talking about it all. I want to review as much as I possibly can, movies, TV shows, all of it here to discuss with you guys, especially Stranger Things episode by episode. But 2025, I think a trailer's coming in February for sure, right around probably Super Bowl time. And then I would say in the spring, I think that they're going to release it all throughout the year. I mean, I would do three drops. I would do one in the spring, I would do one at the end of the summer or middle of the summer, and then I would do one in the fall to wrap it up, right? The final 2 episodes will come out in the fall, and there'll be long episodes too. I mean, I think these are going to be like, at least probably 2-hour episodes. They said that it's going to be shorter, but I don't know if that's still true. Things can change, and I think they said that these episodes were going to be shorter like 2 years ago. So these guys usually write a lot of chunky things, so don't take them at their word for that. I think things probably changed, especially if you're bringing in some Eddie or so. I don't know. Some things probably got fleshed out. I'm assuming that stuff changed, but I would do 3 drops so that and why wouldn't you do that? If you're Netflix, you're gonna be like, yeah, why not? This is our biggest show that we've ever made. And if you want to own the entire year of 2025, then you're going to do 3 drops. And I would prefer 3 drops because I want to experience Stranger Things throughout the entire year. I think that would make my year very exciting. Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think? What do you want to happen? And are you a massive Stranger Things fan like me? Because I've been there pretty much from the beginning. Pretty much since day 1 I was watching the show, so it's been a long time coming and I can't wait. Go check out this video here where I talk about the top 8 reasons why James Gunn is going to succeed with Superman. It's a cool video. A lot of people seem to be liking it, so I definitely think you should check that out if you're curious at all about the new Superman movie coming in 2025. Thanks guys so much for sticking with me and growing the channel. We are almost to 5,000 subscribers and the watch time is going up. And so if the watch time goes up, then the monetization will happen, and that'll be a great thing to celebrate. We have a live stream coming next Sunday, the 17th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time is when we're going to go live, so we can talk about this. If you want to talk about this or whatever, I haven't really figured out what the schedule is going to be for the live stream, but you guys can pop in there and talk to me during that live stream. Thanks so much. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.